we got access to quite a lot of data in many different areas. But of course, there are areas where we had difficulties getting down to the raw data, and there are many good reasons for that. In China, like in many other countries, there are restrictions on and privacy laws that forbid the sharing of data, including private details to outsiders, in particular if the data are moving out of the country. That would be exactly the same in most countries in the world if we were going there to do any studies, and we've done many studies in the past, and we always face the same challenges. That's accepted by everybody. There was a lot of attention, a lot of pressure on all this work. We also had the entire world following every move we made during our stay in Wuhan, whether during quarantine or after the quarantine, the first quarantine period. And of course, there was a lot of interest from all sides. And I think, as you said, of course, there was political pressure from all sides, also outside China. But I think we were able to create a space for the science, a space for the two groups of scientists that were together. We had nothing to hide, so there was no problem working in an open environment and sharing our work and our discussions as we had them.
He said this amazing city. No, I can't remember this name. I'm not going to show that. Good.
We were never pressured to remove a critical element in our report. As I said, the report is something that all the scientists on the joint team can stand behind and have supported. It is perfectly possible that you would have earlier cases, sporadic cases circulating in and around Wuhan before December, let's say November and potentially also October 2019, and potentially that some of them were also traveling abroad and seeding and transmitting the disease abroad again in sporadic way elsewhere during November and earlier December. So it has, of course, been a logical, natural speculation by everybody at that time. But apart from that idea that there is a lab nearby or several labs nearby in the same city, so there must be a link. Apart from that, nobody has been able to pick up any firm arguments or proof or evidence that these labs or any of these labs would have been involved in a lab leak accident. Lab accidents, of course, do happen once in a while. We've seen that throughout history in many places. So, of course, it's possible, and therefore it's also part of the conclusions in the report that it's not impossible that could have happened. But we haven't seen or been able to hear or see or look at anything that would warrant different conclusions from our side. But as you said, we haven't done a full investigation or audit of these labs or any other labs around the world for that matter. but because of the strong suspicion of certain bat species being the host of this virus and having found other relatively close virus strains to SARS-CoV-2 in the region, also in Southeast Asia in general, where these bats are living, is a strong indication that that's where the source is. But we're still working on finding the exact traceback of the virus before Wuhan. Nobody would expect that this mission would have come up with the final answer and that we will have showed up at the end of the mission holding whatever animal in our hands and said, here is the culprit. That was never the intention or the expectation. This is work in progress again, and we all have to be patient and again support the logic of our work, which is to start from where the first case were identified, detected in Wuhan, and looking at that event, that phase, that environment, and then expanding the environment and the studies starting from that point and radiating out of it, following the leads that individual studies will give us.